Welcome to Holistic Accountant Podcast, where we aim to showcase how adopting a holistic approach in accounting and tax maximizes value for clients. Beyond traditional tasks like preparing financial statements and tax returns, a holistic accountant focuses on offering advice that maximizes personal wealth on an after-tax basis. If you enjoy this episode, please consider leaving a rating and sharing it with those who might also benefit. And to ensure you stay updated, subscribe to our weekly email. The link is in the show notes. Okay, today Mena and I would like to talk about artificial intelligence, AI. Of course, it's a bit of a buzzword at the moment, particularly with the US listed company Nvidia, which has been a huge performer in terms of share price and also from a profitability perspective. Its AI chip is killing it from that perspective, and the business is worth over $3.3 trillion US dollars, which is, again, an absolute behemoth. But it's good to then think about, how will AI impact us as a human race, but most importantly, how will it impact my industry and business? And that's what we really wanted to talk about today. And I guess we've got to start with the acknowledgement that none of us really know, that these things, we know there's going to be an impact, but to what extent, is got to be seen. And the actual application of AI and whether it's going to actually deliver the efficiencies that, some people are espousing is something that the stock market is kind of grappling with as well, because a lot of these, it's called the AI trade. A lot of the technology companies that are trying to get into this AI space, Microsoft is one of those building an AI function into its product. Obviously those companies benefit from significant value appreciation in their share price off the back of an expectation that AI is going to start delivering some efficiency. But this AI trade has been criticised because the argument is we haven't seen the efficiency yet. But of course, with technology, it requires many iterations until we get to sort of the final product. And that's why it's sort of unknown. Let's start with the most obvious potential outcome, which is, a change in how humans interact with a business. So that is our staff. The argument is, if you're just doing a menial task, a repetitive task, one that doesn't necessarily require any sort of problem solving or creativity, that job will be eaten up by some sort of AI at some point in the future. And, whilst despite what Mena will tell you, I wasn't around in the Industrial Revolution, but the same concerns were present at that time, when manufacturers started to use machinery instead of humans to build products. That was the big concern, is the machines are going to put us out of a job. Well, it wasn't true. We just got more efficient. We produced more per hour of labor and no one really lost their jobs. Their jobs changed. And I think the same is true with AI, at least as much as we know today, is that AI, I think in many industries will make human labour more productive and more efficient, but it might mean that we're sort of changing our job. And hopefully that means that we get to do the work that we enjoy the most rather than the repetitive and menial work. But also I think for some jobs, maybe they will be replaced, particularly sort of maybe those typical blue collar jobs, maybe some of those will be replaced. But it's really about then thinking, I guess, in a business like ours, for instance, it's knowing, okay, this is going to happen. How do we try and sort of fast track it? We're going to get there anyway. Let's try and utilize it today. So how do we use it in our business to make our staff more efficient?
And at the end of the day, it's like Stuart said, it's not a threat. It's more so a tool that you can use within your business. You're not going to be getting rid of staff, or maybe you'll be getting rid of lower level staff that do sort of menial ad hoc tasks. But AI would mainly, at this point in time at least, be a tool that complements your current workforce. So how can you get more out of your workforce? How can you improve quality control? How can you get your staff to focus on higher level tasks rather than sort of smaller, menial, repetitive tasks that no one enjoys doing? You look at, for example, customer service based businesses, they adopted chat boxes that our AI can sort of address sort of routine sort of queries with customers. So it frees human agents to deal with the more complex issues that require, empathy and creativity, which you won't get out of AI, or at least I don't think you'll get out of AI during our time. So this shift allows, like Stuart said, your staff to address sort of more high complex issues, allows them to focus on customer experience, customer relations, it allows them to focus on jobs that are actually more rewarding than menial sort of process driven tasks.
And I think that means that, many staff will need to be sort of reskilled or upskilled. In fact, we saw a report by the World Economic Forum that estimates that by 2025, 50% of all employees will need to be reskilled. Well, I don't know if I believe that 50%, but I think there's a lot of reskilling is going to have to occur. A lot of AI is driven by these large language models. LLM is the acronym. And these language models are great because they can problem solve, particularly on technical issues. They can be, really accurate and quick and fast and so forth. So what it can't do, though, is have a conversation with a potential customer or client. And also the information or the answer that you get is only really as good as the question that is posed to these large language models. So it's those softer skills that are going to start to sort of come into their own. It's also the creativity. We haven't seen that yet from AI. I'm not sure it's even possible. I'm not obviously an IT nerd in that regard, but that's the thing that the human race has really succeeded on, is its creativity in problem solving. And that's, obviously there's plenty of history regarding that. So I think if our team are trained to be creative, to problem solve, and to retrain on more soft skills, because at the end of the day, humans like dealing with humans, and we can just use the computers to come up with all the technical answers or do all the menial work and repetitive work or data analysis, these sorts of things. And then it's really about the team. What else can the team do when the computer's doing the other stuff that it can do better than us?
And AI can also serve as a tool to assist in decision making. It won't necessarily make your decisions for you, but it has the ability to process massive data sets and uncover insights that humans might actually miss. We've sort of adopted that in our business at the moment, where we've got it sort of reviewing large text formats or large business proposals to provide us summaries and key sort of financial information that we're sort of trying to target so that we can analyze trends and so forth. But it also allows you to sort of save a significant amount of time. These data sets are being produced within seconds, whereas, humans may take hours, days, even weeks to process these large data sets, and often sometimes with errors. So AI can help you make decisions a lot faster, make you more informed within your business.
So by no means, Mena and I are experts in AI and its application in industry, but we wanted to have this conversation and kind of share our viewpoints with respect to how AI might start sort of involving itself in our life and our business. And of course, these things change very quickly. So we imagine that in 2 years from now, it'll be a completely different landscape. But our view is that the largest contribution AI will make will be to improve human efficiency. So the amount of output you get per every hour of work by your team member, that's the key element here. And so what we need to ask ourselves is, how can we use AI in a way that's going to make our job easier or produce better work, higher quality work at a faster rate that's going to be more dependable and reliable, more accurate? And I think if we keep asking ourselves those questions, I think the answers will change naturally as the products and opportunities change, and they will change at a very fast rate. But I think if we keep asking ourselves those questions, the chances are, sure, we'll try some tools or strategies and that won't work out, but it's those ones that do work out that will save us an incredible amount of time. Of course, it's a changing space, so, it's something that we'll keep on top of and speak more about in this podcast. But until next week, bye for now.